You never want a serious crisis to go to waste.
If I could have gotten 51 votes in the Senate of the United States for an outright ban, picking up every one of them, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in, I would have done it.
I have 2 words for you. Predator drones. You will never see it coming.
It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Welcome to On Target Radio. Tonight, David and Gretchen will be talking about action shooting sports at the Aurora Sportsmen's Club with their guests Eric Callis, the Action Shooting Sports Department Chairman, and Todd Vandermyde, who's spearheading this year's zombie shoot. All that and more on tonight's On Target Radio, so be sure to give us a call at 312-642-5600 or go to Facebook and like our page, On Target Radio, and ask a question there.
And now, from the seething cauldron of personal opinion, it's time for David's Rant of the Week.
I have begun to notice that gun owners seem to have fallen into one of 2 groups when confronted by anti-Second Amendment bias. They're either very vocal about the right to own a firearm, or they keep apologizing for owning a firearm. Yeah, I know it's a big generalization, but just for a moment, give me a pass on all the nuanced positive opinions about gun ownership. The point I want to make is that increasingly I'm hearing people apologizing, weakly defending, and even acquiescing to some ranting person who's against gun ownership and you don't care about children and some other tragic reason du jour they feel justifies melting anything that so much looks like a firearm into a giant puddle. When the heck did we allow the loony left to co-opt the discussion on the Second Amendment? Case in point. As president of the 1,800-member Aurora Sportsmen's Club, I clearly understand the value of public relations. We work very hard at being a good neighbor to those who live around us and to the local community in general. What we don't do is apologize for being a shooting club. Not long ago, one of our members contacted me about having seen someone with a bump gun shooting at the club. A bump gun uses the recoil of a semi-automatic firearm to fire shots in rapid succession, which simulates the feel and sound of a fully automatic firearm, but in fact is not fully automatic, and it is legal. He was concerned that people driving by the club would hear the bump gun and think it was fully automatic. Except for a few very specific situations, such as law enforcement, fully automatic firearms are illegal in Illinois. I appreciated his concern, and I certainly understand how it might be perceived by the general public. So I thanked him, but explained why we allow bump guns at ASC. It's legal, I said. I have only 2 concerns. Is it legal, and is it safe? In my opinion, both are true, and I will not steer the club down any road that apologizes for exercising our rights to firearm ownership because someone might not like it. Similarly, in the days leading up to Illinois concealed carry, I was talking with the president of a shooting range who told me his board of directors was considering whether or not they would allow members to carry a concealed firearm on the range. My response was the day they told their membership that concealed carry would not be authorized on the range is the day that it would appear above the fold in the Chicago Tribune. I could envision the headline, "Gun Range Thinks Concealed Carry Too Dangerous to Allow." It would have been a public relations disaster. The loony left has the remarkable ability to put conservatives on the defensive. They always fall back to an emotional argument, attempting to drag conservatives down to their low level of redefined reality. Then they beat us up with experience. Any conversation with anyone who says, quote, "You don't care about the children," unquote, or "We just need common sense, anything at all," unquote, is yet another ploy to make you look guilty of something you've never done and most likely don't even understand. Conservatives are such suckers for liberal tripe. If you want to read an excellent primer on the subject, get a copy of Confrontational Politics by H.L. Richardson from Jameson Books. It will arm you with the necessary knowledge and technique to stop loony liberals in their tracks and beat them to a pulp with reality. Someone once said, if you want to anger a conservative, lie to him. If you want to anger a liberal, tell him the truth. Bone up on the truth and stop letting the loony left dictate how you talk about firearm ownership. Quit apologizing for owning any gun. Stop trying to defend why you own a firearm. And for heaven's sake, don't let the loony left influence what you own. To do otherwise is for the loony left to score yet another point in their war against guns. And that ain't going to happen on my watch. No how, no way. And that, Gretchen, is my rant for the week.
One of our listeners, our astute listeners, posted one of those cause ribbons, and it says, liberalism find a cure.
There you go. And our guests this evening are not politically correct people, and they don't apologize for the guns that we shoot. Eric Callis, our department chairman of the action shooting sports at Aurora Sportsmen Club. Thank you for coming in again.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
Certainly been before. And Todd Vandermyde, who, sorry to say, came up to me about 8 or 9 months ago and said, I have some ideas for Zombie Shoot, and ever since has been running it. Todd, thank you for coming in.
It's great to be here, Dave.
So I'd like to kind of make people aware of action shooting sports in general, and I want to talk about Zombie Shoot specifically, which is coming up on the 10th, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that specifically, but as an organization, Aurora Sportsman's Club has, I think, probably one of the richest action shooting sports, certainly anywhere around here. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. Just in terms of the breadth of activities that we have available.
Sure. So we've had 3-gun now 2 years.
2 and a piece, yeah.
Yeah, 2.5. And that seems to be growing constantly.
It's going great. Yeah, we had our 3rd match this year just today. I'm on my 17th hour of club business here, so I'm dragging a little bit, but it was a great match. It was a beautiful day. The rain held off to the end, and we had somewhere between 50 and 60 just thrilled 3-gun shooters. We've got some great sponsors, Gunfighter Steel and BAT Arms. We have great prizes for those who participate, and our medical staff is awesome. It's a first-class operation all the way.
Using on-target radio, this is AM560 The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. We're talking about action sports at the Aurora Sportsman's Club. What are the different events that are available?
So through the Action Shooting Sports Department, we've got Practical Rifle, which is the 3rd Saturday of every month.
And what is that?
Which is using modern sporting rifles in a shoot-and-move scenario-based competition where you're shooting against the clock for score. Right, get as many points as you can, as little time as possible. And gun handling and reloading, those types of things we emphasize. Shooting around barricades, that kind of stuff. And that's kind of really the core of our program. And then we added 3-gun, said about 2 years ago, which if you watch Sportsman's Channel or NBC Sports, it's on all the time now. And it uses rifle, pistol, and shotgun all together in a similar environment to Practical Rifle, but you get to transition and use different types of guns to tackle different types of targets. Very fast-moving, and really said it's just taken off like crazy all over the country. And then we also do Precision Rifle, which again is scenario-based, but instead of being in that 25 to 200 yard range, we stretch that all the way out to 600 yards. And that program this year has just taken off. We actually thought about not having that event last year, and kind of with the Chris Kyle movie and all the sniper stuff going on, everybody ran out and got precision rifles, and we've been going gangbusters. The match that we're going to have in September, I think we're going to have about a $3,000 prize table.
And that's the interesting thing. You guys just came up with this idea, and it really has worked out. There are an increasing number of people who want to sponsor.
Yeah, people recognize that the shooting sports are growing at a rate that I think is 5 years ago nobody would have predicted, and manufacturers and representatives are looking to kind of get involved with that and support the community.
Sure. I'm always saying that we're building a world-class facility because we're new. We've been there about 6 years now. But realistically, what we've done is we've put in place a system whereby we can't say paramedics because we're not a hospital, but we have people who are medically trained, and we got a Kubota with litter. We got to deal with a helicopter outfit who can fly you to a level 1 trauma center at Rockford. We have guys who are security guys. I mean, we literally put in place a venue that you could hold any kind of an event.
And I've shot matches, Dave, all over the country in the past 15 years or so, and there's just nobody putting on events the way that we do.
Exactly.
Essentially, the specialization and the club volunteers that we have coming forward to help us do things that they are kind of uniquely qualified to do is different than what anybody else is doing.
I still tell the story that I was going up in the 50-foot Bay 1 range, and there's a porta potty up there. And so I was teaching, and I wanted to go to the porta potty, and I walked up there and looked to my right, and there's a boat floating in a pool that you had constructed for 3-gun. I mean, I'm like, there's a boat out here. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, creativity is a really big part of what we do, trying to create scenarios that you just can't do anywhere else. So we actually built a man-made lake and floated a rowboat in there, and you got to shoot kind of ducks out of a rowboat.
We're going to be back with more On Target Radio and more about action sports at Aurora Sportsmen's Club and Zombie Shoot after a few messages. And you're listening to On Target Radio. And this is AM560, The Answer.
This is my floor.
That's the floor.
She wanted to know what it
So
was.
I'm figuring we'll ask what is zombie shooting? That's probably a good start, eh? Is he doing something he doesn't want the world to know? That look. I saw that look at the camera.
Very focused.
Now, he's in here doing state work. He was down there doing zombie shoot. Now he's up here doing, yeah, right.
Yeah. Changes in the name.
Oh, I got a live read coming home.
I like Larry's comment on Facebook.
Larry,
Yeah, I was going
Does
to
this
read that
mean the
later.
Aurora Sportsmen's Club will build safe spaces for people not liking
I was
Where
going to
is
read
that?
that later, but I didn't think
He
you
sent
wanted
it
me to
a
interrupt
few
you.
minutes ago.
There's plenty of safe space. It usually means you're behind the gun.
yes, exactly.
Could go in the porta potty.
That's right.
That's a safe space.
I can never find anything on our Facebook page.
Well, you get all your messages. Usually the quickest way is click here,
Yeah, but when I look at it,
and then wait till that page comes up, do it again. And then
I don't
click
see a
this
Larry.
one where it always says new, just click that.
Right
That's
here?
yeah, click that. Always click the one that says new messages, and it's going to bring you
Oh, okay.
to the new messages.
Because I didn't see anything that said Larry's name.
Yeah, once it comes in, it's taking a minute there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably he's right here, so it's this
Oh, there you go.
thread right here. Click it, and you can see the conversation. But it's pretty funny. That computer is running deathly slow.
Yeah, that's what the show runs on. What do you expect? It'll be good? I made this meme about 7 years ago. Oh, there it is. Does this mean the Aurora Club will build safe spaces for people not liking the bump fire gun? Okay, it took a long time to get to that.
It took 5 seconds on the phone. Forget
Yeah.
the computer.
Good luck on that. Got another one.
I already responded to him. I basically said, no, it's not going to happen.
There is a safe space. It's called Stay at Home.
Yeah, the safe space is your house.
That's right.
Oh, Kinzinger watch. Good luck on that. Did you see,
20
not
seconds.
Brady, what's her name? Gabby Giffords endorsed Mark Kirk?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was in the newsletter.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, I put it in the newsletter. And you edited it.
And
But I don't know if you actually read
Well,
it.
in
5 seconds,
Pennsylvania,
and you're doing the read.
they endorsed Toomey.
.net or
Yeah, yeah.
888-346-0666. You had better call Saul.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
If you're considering purchasing your first firearm or adding to your collection, here's your opportunity to save. In August, Schrank's Smoke and Gun is offering a 10% discount on all store-owned used firearms, and that includes Schrank's selection of clearance guns. You've heard that Schrank's carries the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, including pistols, rifles, shotguns, hard-to-find calibers, collectibles, and older functioning hunting rifles. With hunting season is rapidly approaching, get your rifle inspected and cleaned by Schrank's qualified gunsmith. Purchase optics from Schrank's and they'll mount and bore sight your new scope at no charge. And cigar lovers will appreciate Schrank's humidors. To save 10% on used firearms, visit gun.org or call 847-662-4034. Schrank's Smoke and Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964. That's 847-662-4034. Or go online at smoke.org.
We got a comment on Facebook from Larry, and he said, does this mean that the Aurora Club will build safe spaces for people not liking the bump fire gun?
I think Todd's answer was the right one.
And the safe place is behind the gun.
Absolutely. Are you a cigar smoker?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it. We're good. You don't smoke cigars, do you? I asked you once about that.
No.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Bourbon, but no cigars.
Yeah, I'm a cigar. We'll have to do cigars. I like cigars.
Eric's not cool enough for you.
Yeah. It's
Monte Cristo number 2.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't
Monte
do-
Cristos? That's what I smoke. Monte Cristos. That's great. Hey, there's a great place that I go with a club kind of thing up on. It's near Fox Valley Mall. We'll have to go up there sometime. Zombie Shoot. What the heck is Zombie Shoot?
Well, Zombie Shoot is an action shooting sports event that we bring in handguns, rifles, shotguns, and we do it all around the zombie genre. In this year, parts of our stages are designed around The Walking Dead. So if you're a Dead fan, and right now if you're watching The Talking Dead, because at 8 o'clock it was Fear, because October is when we find out who Negan clubbed to death. However,
there you go.
If you think you can be more badass than Daryl Dixon, come on out to the Zombie Shoot, because we're going to have stages based around some of the scenes that you'll recall over the last couple of seasons in The Walking Dead. And what it is it's all about action shooting sports around zombie-themed, target scenarios. The outbreak at the ER. Can you get through the ER and get out to the other side? That's what the opening stage we have. One of our supporters, Crazy Quail, is going to be out there with their Claybird launcher. So if you remember the Evil Dead movies and all those crows that we're picking on and whatever, well, if you want to see how good you are against wild flying clay targets.
Are you looking at his face while he's saying this? He's like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, I was going to say he looks like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. This is just way too fun. So we spent a lot of time this year designing and expanding the shoot. We've had 6 stages in the past. Counting everything, we're up to 13. So it's an expanded shoot. But again, we tried to theme some of it around some of the favorite TV shows, like The Walking Dead, are really making this stuff popular. We've had this introduction of Negan into the character from the comic books in The Walking Dead. There's a scene from first half of the season where there's a bunch of guys that block a road that Daryl and Abraham and Sasha are in this vehicle with. Well, Daryl blows them up with an RPG. Spoiler alert, sorry, it was...
I don't think we can have RPGs at the club, right?
We can't.
Come on, you're just putting the brakes on way too hard there, Dave.
Here's the On Target Radio. This is AM560 The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. One of the things I definitely want to touch on for people who've been in the past, because originally you came to me, I can't remember when it was, either very early spring or late winter, but you came and you said you had a couple of thoughts. And we had sort of, I won't say problems, but there were 2 issues last year that we've addressed for people who've been there, then might want to know that.
Sure. So one of the issues was the length of the lines. And what we've done is we've expanded the stages from 6 to 13 different stations that you'll be able to go shoot at. So with that, we hope that with more lines and the same attendance rates, more stations will have shorter lines. The other part was that there were a lot of add-on pay stations because of some of the uniqueness of what was going on. Most people don't show up with a 50 BMG and ammo in their pocket to shoot. But with that, we've narrowed it down. There are 2 stations that you will get a ticket to shoot for. There's 2 tickets. You can use them 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, whatever you want. They're interchangeable. You'll be able to go to those stations. You'll be able to shoot those stations free of charge or included in your admission price. And if you want to go reshoot those stations, those will have a slight cost to on the reshoots. The other stations on the reshoots are free. So there's going to be seriously 10 free stations all day long. As many shooters as we can run through the stations as fast and safely as we can. We've tried to restructure the design of the courses to offer a faster reset. Every stage is reactive targets. There is no pasting of paper at this year's zombie shoot. It is all going to be reactive targets. Whether it's steel out on the 600 and 200 yard range that you're going to ring, whether it's knockdown targets with the 12 gauges and the zombie heads that we've picked up this year, whether it's the knockdown targets that are the self-healers or the clays that we'll be shooting close in with rifles and things like that. So we've changed up a lot of the things that we're doing this year, and we think we're going to have one of the best zombie shoots in the Midwest.
The 2 things that that require a ticket, so everybody gets to shoot everything, are kind of interesting. One of them is CMP will offer you the opportunity to shoot like a World War II, the M1 Garand, or the M1 carbine or an AR-15, and then you are going to have your outfit there. So just mention a little bit about that.
Well, Illinois has been trying, we're the only state between California and New York where suppressors or silencers are illegal for civilians to own. So we're going to be offering a stage, and if you remember this year's season of The Walking Dead, where Rick took a crew in to go put an offensive assault on the survivors in their little bunkhouse, well, you're going to get to redo that. Only where they used knives, we're going to use AR-15s and suppressors. So if you've never shot a suppressed rifle before, you're going to get a chance to come out and try shooting a suppressed rifle. We'll have them in 5.56, 9mm, and for some other adventurous people that want to make a second or third run, we'll even have some pistols, a 1911 and an XDM that'll be suppressed.
So it's really a very wide array of stuff. One of the other things that we've sort of switched this year, which I think was a wise choice, we're really highlighting everything now. It's action sports. I mean, the thrust is 100% action sports, and we had other people involved previously, and those two we don't want to leave people out. So what we're going to do is in the spring we're going to have an open house for members. It'll be free to all the members, and everyone will be able to display whatever their discipline is, and members will be able to go out and try it. So we're not putting them off to the side, but this is now really highlighting.
Yeah, we're not the only zombie shoot in the country. It's kind of a thing, There's probably 4 or 5 really big ones across the country, and people who go to those, a lot of times they'll travel around and go from shoot to shoot. So you kind of got to produce the match that they're expecting when they get there.
And you've got some sign-ups from out of state already, don't you?
We do. We've actually got some guys from Minnesota that have signed up on our Facebook page. If you want to go to Aurora Sportsman's Club, you can link to the zombie shoot off there, or you can find the zombie shoot on Facebook. We still have ticket sales open. They're $80 from now until the September 10th day of the shoot. You're going to get a morale patch, a PVC morale patch from this year's zombie shoot as part of the swag giveaway with all that. And come on out and just have a really great time. The doors open at 8 o'clock for registration. Safety briefs start at 8:30. And, like Eric said, so we've got IDPA is running the hospital stage. 3-Gun is running the prison plate stage based on, when they were holed up at the prison a couple seasons ago. And then Eric's going to be having a 3-gun stage at Clear the Deck, which is where, for that part of that one season, they were dealing with the people inside a hospital. And if you've been watching around, we did a lot of artwork this year. Tommy Ray Torres Designs has been the guy doing all our artwork for our logo, our flyers.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Tommy's been doing just a yeoman's job and all that. So we're going to, Practical Rifle's going to have a couple of stages out there, and Precision Practical Rifle's going to have the 200 and 600 yard stages.
We're going to talk about that and more when we come back, and we're going to talk about, it's also a family event too. So we'll talk about all that and more with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM560, The Answer.
This is the long
I'll come back. Just, go ahead.
That's fine.
Dave, have I ever thanked you for listening?
What?
This is a 5.5 minute break. So
Have I ever what?
Have I ever thanked you for your listeners?
he's enjoying all the crazy callers that are calling.
I have.
I can see.
Are
I
you
can
getting
watch
one?
his face through the window.
What are they saying, George?
He doesn't put a lot of them through.
What are they saying?
The last guy was like, yeah, I want to talk about the polls and how fake they are. And I was like, okay, well, we're talking about action shooting sports. It's like, oh, shooting? Okay, I live in Chicago and there's a bike path by my house. Do I have to ride my bike to carry on the bike path or can I walk?
I hope you just told him. I hope you just told him.
Our callers don't realize this.
I told him it has to be a bicycle or a mobility scooter, so you should get him something mobility scooter.
It's gun topics. Calling about gun
And
topics.
battery efficiency is
Did you
excellent.
really?
No.
It's usually completely
I
the
should've.
opposite. And it's like.
You should have said one of the rules of the bike pass. Does it say you have to write? Do the rules
Well, it's a
say you
city of
have to write?
Chicago thing, so you can't carry it like a park.
Oh,
But you
yeah,
can
the city of
carry on a
Chicago.
bike path.
If it's
What if it's a trike?
if it's private.
That's what he said. Like, do I have to walk? I'm like,
Is
fucking
it?
joking with me,
You
or
can
you,
walk on
or do you want me to punch
Yeah.
you in the fucking face
If
through the phone?
if
Because I'll figure out a way. You
If the
dickhead.
bikeway is privately owned, like an HOA, or if it's county, not Cook County, but if it's any other county, you can have your concealed carry there, but not Park District.
Yeah, Park District is also.
Screw that guy. He wasn't asking a serious question. He came out with a question
If
after
he has
about a
to-
half
you
second
know,
of contemplation,
This
and
is
it was
what you.
stupid.
This is what you should have said. If you took the class, you should know that. Click.
Right.
Well, there was a guy. There was a guy who
I'm
asked.
going to report your number to the state and you do take the class.
There was a guy who,
Right.
a few weeks ago who asked a
Exactly.
similar question.
We're not giving
Had
you
to
a
do with
refund.
something with parks, but like, what if it's for an event, for if you're like when people rent out?
If the
You
event
know, are they
requires a
allowed-
permit, then you
Totally
cannot
restricted. Yeah.
There's
So-
a permit involved.
Totally restricted.
But yeah, so he was like,
You
he was
would take
asking
the
about
class,
that, and
you
I
would
was
know
like,
that.
listen, I'm pretty sure I know this, but I don't want to give you an opinion
You
and
should-
be wrong.
You should put those
And
people
I said,
through, 'cause that's what we
you should
do.
call Dave. Let me give you the number, and I gave him the number, and he goes, oh, that's just the Safer USA
So is all
number.
this going
And I'm
on
like,
the
yeah,
web?
you already know the Safer.
Oh,
He goes,
yeah.
yeah, I'm taking his classes. And I'm thinking like,
Wait,
Some
why
of the
don't you
crazy
fucking
callers
know
are
that?
why are you asking this question?
John didn't call, did he?
No, I'm still waiting for John. It's ready to kick into high gear now.
We may
That's
take
right.
John just to let him
I
talk
want
to
to
Todd.
hear. I want to hear what is Catholic theology
John.
with respect to zombies.
John,
Yeah,
he'll have one.
you'll know.
Yeah.
There's some
Church,
sort of
they
14th century
don't understand
dogmatic
some
If
prison.
anyone would know, he would know.
If John calls,
John is
plug
a-
him directly into Todd.
John is a
okay?
militant Catholic, and let me tell you how I know I can definitely categorize him as a militant Catholic. I told him I was Lutheran once, a long time ago.
You're going to hell.
And he said
And
no, he's
yes,
perfect.
no, he called Martin Luther the Antichrist.
You don't know?
So I know John's a militant Catholic.
Well, remember,
That's pretty
he's
nuts.
the guy who
Also-
called me at home,
Even-
John
and I
is
talked to
also
him for an
even
hour.
the
yes,
nuns-
but John
even
is
the
also
nuns-
nuts and doesn't remember shit, and that's
Even
why
the nuns
now
said
he's nice.
it was okay that I was Protestant.
That's
They're
true.
Like, oh, that's okay. You're not going.
However, you go to heaven, but you're going to have a room next to the elevator. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
probably
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's probably
No,
true.
see,
Right next to the
now the
elephant.
Lutherans, we haven't figured out. We've got the sort of Scandinavian Bavaria thing down. You get to some mountains, and you'll go, oh god, that looks unbearable. And then you get just slightly over the mountains, you go, oh my god, this is really nice. And the Germans are keeping it to ourselves. This is where the Lutherans live.
Just tell him you're a Jehovah's Witness and the conversation will end.
No, the Jehovah's Witnesses live in a long room with many doors and many doorbells in each room, and every time they ring the wrong doorbell, it saps them. So they go down the hallway, it's, try again
yes.
tomorrow. So.
But if you like white shirts and black suits, it works out.
I like white shirts with really long sleeves that do up in the back. Really comfy.
And we
Most of my childhood.
we support that for you. Trust me.
Actually, the joke
You're coming
they make
home,
is that
right?
I'm the AM560 hunchback, and they only let me out when nobody's here. They just keep me locked in the basement in a straitjacket the rest of the week. Actually, probably should be the case.
We're losing our money financially, but we have fun. What are you gonna do?
Oh, when we come back, I want to say we just got 2 more likes on our Facebook page
What are we up to?
tonight. 991.
Whoa, Joe Mama. Okay, she'll come back, and then
I'm coming back. And then
he
she'll
comes
go.
back. He
Power
comes
of
back
action
with the
shooting
ad.
sports.
It is.
Gretchen, he comes back with your joining.
Okay, so
then
I'm
you
after
go.
you. That's
Yeah.
fine. I can wait.
And you
can
might,
I can take turns. I learned how to take turns.
you might, you know how to play nice.
I
So
do.
I got 30 seconds.
I always play nice. Unless it's a shooting competition, then I kick ass.
That's right. You still got that trophy in your purse, right?
Why don't you
No, it's
ask?
on my piano.
Why don't you ask them if it's a family thing?
To squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from reputationdefender.com right now. Call 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888. That's 800-651-4888. Or visit reputationdefender.com today.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
This segment is brought to you by the Will County Grassroots Division of the Illinois State Rifle Association. Join like-minded friends supporting the right to keep and bear arms in Illinois at 7 p.m. on the third Wednesday of the month at the Silver Dollar Restaurant in Elwood, Illinois.
I just wanted to say that I'm super excited. We just got 2 more likes on Facebook tonight. So we're up to 991. We're so close to 1,000. So keep them coming, and we're super excited. Thanks for joining us.
If 9 people like us tonight, we reach 1,000. Callis will buy him a new car. How's that?
I'm good.
Zombie shoot. We're talking about zombie shoot. Our guest this evening, Eric Callis, who's the chairman of the Action Shooting Sports Department at Aurora Sportsmen's Club, and Todd Vandermyde, who foolishly walked up to me and suggested something for zombie shoot, and I just ran away screaming, and he's been doing it ever since. Is this a family thing?
Absolutely. My 2 sons are going to be out there, both helping reset targets, and Jake, my 16-year-old, shoots regularly monthly with us at PR. And if you have a child under the age of 16, they're in free with a paid adult. And we let kids shoot up to their skill and ability within the safety comforts of the range officers to know that they know what they're doing. So if you've got a son like mine who's been shooting for 3 years or better, doing the running and gunning that we do at PR, Jake will run a bunch of the stages, and he does it quite well.
Aurora Sportsman Club is very family-oriented. I mean, everything we do, we have a lot of youth programs, and kids come out.
Yeah, so just at our 3-gun, starting last year, we've had just a great young man. His name is Nick, and I'm not going to mention his last name, but he comes out, his mom brings him. He's 16, 17 years old, and every match, he improves, and he saves up his money wherever he's getting it from, and he'll, add to his equipment, and it's so exciting to see, parents and kids come out and the support that they get, and we encourage all the youth to come out. So as long as they can be safe and they can hold those guns up, rock and roll. We want to have them out there.
I remember last year, Allison told me that she had her 2-year-old daughter out there, obviously with hearing protection on, and people were shooting some big guns, and she was a little concerned that her child was going to be scared, and she heard the big gun go off, and she went, "Oh, cool!"
We actually have a call from Michael from Elk Grove Village, who has a comment about this whole common sense thing and gun laws, which Todd would probably resonate with you. Michael, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing great. I really appreciate your show and also your opening comments. I think what we have to be aware of is the way that they're sneaking in this verbiage when they make their point, the liberals. Number one, there are no assault rifles. Those are against the law. So when they begin a conversation that, don't you think assault rifles should be outlawed? Well, they already are outlawed, so that's not even a conversation. Or when you hear Hillary Clinton say, well, that's not who we are. Well, who says who we are? And the third one is we want common sense gun laws, which infer people who want guns don't have common sense. So we want common sense gun reform where actual owners or people like yourself, the establishment you have, none of us are committing the crimes.
I agree.
No gun crimes are coming from us.
I agree, Michael. Thank you for the call. I appreciate that, and you're absolutely right. Todd, you probably have feelings about that subject.
I just think it's common sense that Illinois legalized suppressors in the state of Illinois so we can protect our hearing and, not have to wear hearing aids after 40 years of shooting and everything.
You know what I find enormously ironic? Europe, which overall is not really pro-gun, requires that you use a suppressor if you hunt. Illinois is even behind Europe.
Welcome to Illinois. I mean, but we're not as bad as New York. We're not as bad as California. But you know what? We hold our own. I mean, the fact we can have short-barreled rifles these days. They're legal in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
But we're getting there, and that's part of why we ran a stage last year at Zombie Shoot, letting people try out suppressors and find out. And when my wife was out there, I was telling people, you will see grown men giggle. People who have never been able to shoot this kind of stuff, you will see grown men giggle. And Eric and I, we ran a special stage at one of the PR shoots. And we were shooting it with suppressors, and when you get down to a 45, which is a naturally subsonic round, none of us have our hearing protection on. We're all sitting here and grown men are giggling, and then Mike Kennedy's running the stage next door to us, and they light up because they've got 18 targets, and you're double tapping everything, and one of the guys goes, God, that's just so uncivilized. So, you know, but that's the great thing. Zombie Shoot is one of those times when you can come out and you can try out a whole bunch of different stuff. You get to run, you know, a 3-gun, and you're going to see how fast you can reload a 12 gauge, which is an art.
Yep, and I really want to emphasize that. If you're at all thinking I might be interested in 3-gun, Zombie Shoot is a great way to figure that out.
Absolutely.
It's a low-pressure, non-competitive environment where you can try out what that's really like.
And if you go to Zombie Shoot, you don't have to have 3 guns.
You do not.
You can just show up with a rifle, a handgun, whatever you happen to have. Yeah. We're going to take a break for some messages. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about, we've got some vendors that will be there, and we'll explore that a little bit. That and a little bit more with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM560, The Answer.
How can you get from here to there? We've got the answer from the AM560 Traffic Center.
Taking a look at the roads. Delay free on your Eden's trip. The Kennedy inbound just slows up to Diversey from the junction. It's going to be 23 minutes from O'Hare, 13 from Montrose. Outbound side 10 to the junction, 8 Express, 22 O'Hare. So no issues there. Everything all cleared up on the inbound Ike from the earlier crash just past Paulina. No delays at all between Thorndale and the Circle. Left lane roadwork not slowing you down between St. Charles.
Rifles are included in our stage. So come on out. You don't have to have an AR.
Okay, so
Now
Jim,
what?
Jim, you're going to love this.
This is the one that went off, right?
Okay, this is the last call I got.
Yeah.
The one on the hotline was me calling out
Yeah.
there. It was Bruce Dumont. Okay.
Bruce
Hold on.
Dumont?
Now listen, Bruce Dumont is like, George, my network feed is not working. And I said, okay, so we got no network feed. He goes, I've been trying to get a hold of Marcus Brown. I've been trying to get a hold of Frank. I can't hold of Frank. I need you to call Eric. Don't
He's
have Eric's
dead in the
number.
water?
Can't hold of- Well, here's the thing. I called Eric here because like, dude, I'm working on it. I'll have it up in the next 10 minutes. Give me his number. So I gave him his number and everything else. But here's the thing. Not only does that computer refuse to recognize the existence of Bruce Dumont, the network, the satellite network, refuses to acknowledge the existence of Bruce Dumont.
It's not
Every
that
night
usual.
when Bruce Dumont comes on, his show starts, and this computer, even though there's full levels and it's going out fine, the sound's good, everything goes beep, 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 beep. We're off the air. Go lights flashing.
We're off the air.
Yeah, you might actually witness it tonight.
Dude, it's hilarious. So now the network, the satellite network, does not recognize the
Bruce
existence of
Dumont
Bruce
is a
Dumont.
jinx.
He's a specter. He's a radio specter.
But did you ask him if he wanted to come out to Zombie Shoot?
Trying to sell tickets, George. Come on.
What you'd have is somebody turning every 5 seconds to say something to somebody in some other part of the room. If you've ever heard
I
a show,
had a guy like
if
that.
you've ever heard a show, that's a really funny joke. If not, that makes no sense.
I know. I had a guy like that in basic training.
It's very
He actually
McLaughlin group,
turned
except in
around
3D. I
when
just
somebody
assumed it
yelled
was
his
just
name
picture
and
your
leveled an
16.
M16 that was loaded at everybody that was 180 degrees from the
That's,
firing line.
that's friendly.
The
Yeah.
DI kicked me in the ribs wanting to know why I was laying on the ground. And I said, is Zoldy still up on the firing line? He goes, yeah. I said, here's why. Hey, Zoldy! And he did it again. And then the DI went screaming off at him. It's
We
like-
had
I
a
have another
trainee.
Facebook comment when we come back.
We had a trainee have an epileptic fit throwing a hand grenade. He didn't know. Nobody knew he was epileptic. He pulled the pin and just started doing, and it was like, oh fuck. Yeah, that's a come to Jesus moment.
What's the comment?
Larry says, zombie shoot?
20
Really?
seconds.
We can really shoot liberal Democrats?
This is not about the Democratic voter base in Chicago. This is.
Okay, another question you guys need to address is, are pictures and videos encouraged?
What?
At the zombie shoot, can they take video?
Yeah, I've got a short comment about that, but yeah.
Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
Unfortunately, this is a short segment. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover. One of them is we're going to have some sponsors, some vendors there, are we not?
Absolutely. Some of our vendors are going to be Nickel and Lace with their concealed carry vests and apparel for women. Fire Speed Tactical, local small gunsmithing operation run by Rick Cancino. Applied Arsenal Finishes run by Brandon Haas. They do Cerakote and all kinds of custom finishes on guns. DS Arms is going to be out there. Rock River Arms is going to be out there. Bad Arms is going to be out there. The Firearms Technical Group is going to be out there. We've got some great sponsors with Extreme Optical and Gunfighter Targets who are also going to be part of it. So, yeah, we also have Pub West and South Moon Barbecue are going to be our food vendors this year.
You brought up an interesting point, and that is, and it's sort of all just hit at the same time on Facebook and everything about, do you need to bring 3 guns? And you did bring up an interesting point, and it's, I think, worth repeating, about people in this community. They're a lot like horse people. They just share. You know, if you go, ooh, that's really cool, people are probably going to let you shoot their gun.
Sure, and on the suppressor stage, we provide the rifles and the suppressors for everybody to use, but it's not uncommon for stage bosses or ROs to have an extra gun, their gun laying around. If somebody hasn't got the economics to afford an AR-15 but would like to try one, you know, that's the nature of our community. Get a Glock guy and an XD guy next to each other, and they'll both let you try their guns to prove their point.
And they'll force you to try their guns to prove the point. Yeah, exactly. So there's something to do really for everybody. It's going to be a fast day, really.
Really, and we look forward to seeing a lot of pictures on Facebook from all the people that are attending. Like I said, we've got some people from Minnesota, as far away from Minnesota, that we know of so far. One thing I'll just suggest is that we have a certain caliber of person that likes to hang around Aurora Sportsman's Club, and being that there are a lot of veterans, and we've got some current SO special operations guys and other guys who still go back into the sandbox from time to time. So the only caution is, before you take a picture or a video of somebody you don't know, ask them if it's okay, just to be sure, because some of those guys are a little sensitive about where their pictures show up. But otherwise, we encourage, Eric's videoed his son TC. How old's TC now? 13? 13 when he's out running and gunning with the big boys. And Eric and the guys always like to give me a rash and a grief when Jake, my 16-year-old, beats me in a stage. But when they're all egging him on, I have to remind him quietly that, remember who pays for your ammunition.
Here's the thing: he's the one who's going to pick out your retirement home. So you want to be really good to him.
That's true.
Huh?
Goes both ways.
Exactly. Anything else coming out currently at Action Sports? Anything?
So the only thing that we got going on that I really haven't mentioned is we do have a 3-gun clinic coming up September 25th. Is that a Saturday? Does that sound right?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. I think it's the last Saturday in September. So
it's the 24th.
24th? All right, whatever that last Saturday is. So we've got a clinic coming up. You can go to our website, aurorascpr.org, or if you go to the Aurora Sportsman's Club main site, it'll link off to us, and you can get the information and a link to register there. So if you're kind of thinking about it, great way to kind of get some experience.
And for that, they're going to need to have 3 guns.
Yeah, they need to show up with 3 guns.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of stuff that goes on at the club that helps indoctrinate you that. I mean, John Millington has the skill drills, which just gives you the very fundamental, drawn from the holster and that kind of thing. We IDPA, there's a lot of stuff going on.
We've got just a gangbusters IDPA program going out there now. Last couple of years really grown. Dave Blasky and his team have done a great job.
And we are going to open up some backside berms to give you guys more room to grow, because that's all I hear from you. I need more room.
Yeah, we just can't get enough space. I think if we could get 10 bays on a weekend, we'd take them all.
I know that, and you can't.
Dave, come on.
But we're getting there. You look like you want to say something.
I just think that this year's zombie shoot is really shaping up. We think the only thing we can't control is the weather, but we're going to shoot rain or shine. And with that, we think we've put together one of the best programs in the Midwest. And it just, because of everything going on with The Walking Dead and all that, it just seems to be, come on out. See if you're more badass than Daryl Dixon, because I know a bunch of the guys I shoot with are. And we'll see if you can run on Rick's crew.
Oh, I just wanted to say, too, it actually has not been mentioned. The Aurora Sportsmen's Club is a private club, and there's only a few days a year that it's open to the public, and you can come in either for a fee or not for a fee and see the place. So if you are interested in a private shooting club where you can literally shoot anything that's legal, this is a good opportunity for you to come and see the Aurora Sportsmen's Club.
And we're the closest range to the Chicagoland area with a 600-yard capabilities. Yeah. And you don't quite understand what 6 football fields looks like until you're trying to find that 8-inch target at the other end of it.
I can't even see that far. One of the things about Aurora Sportsman's Club is we have, if you need a place where you can shoot anything, we're growing at about 9.25%, and it won't be all that long, a couple of years probably, we will be at maximum capacity, and it will cut off. So people are joining like crazy, because you know why? There ain't no place anything like that place anywhere near that place.
And another thing about Zombie Shoot, too, is we're spectator friendly. So even if you don't want to shoot, you can come, get in, no cost. You just need to sit through a safety brief. Right. Make sure you have eye and ear protection, and you can come and watch.
Yeah, you can stand up there and help defend the wall of Alexandria. You can take on Negan's crew. You can sit there and watch Rick's raid unfold in front of your very eyes.
Are you sure you're not a lawyer? All right, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be back to wrap it all up with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM560, The Answer.
See, that's the funny thing. Sometimes we get a lot of phone calls. Sometimes we get really heavy Facebook.
I think we got a fair amount, but George was shooting.
We never know. Yeah, well, yeah.
What's
because,
left to do, Dave? I'm not.
That's it. What we'll do is we'll give you like 30. How much you got?
Like 3 minutes.
3? Okay, we'll give you like 30 seconds to give a website, a phone number, whatever you want to do.
Whatever edition of Joe Walsh is playing in Central Alabama right now.
Did you get that call?
Oh my God.
What? From Joe?
They play his show randomly across the country all weekend long.
People think it's
sometimes
live.
It's Tuesday's episode. Sometimes it's Wednesday's.
I already
sometimes they pick one from the week and they play it all. Well, it's okay.
FYI, I already put the link to your Facebook page. I already put on.
I wanted to call and tell Joe about our pool. What pool? We got an over/under pool and the number of homicides up there in Chicago every weekend. We go Friday at noon, Monday at noon. I said, okay, I'm not sure it's real friendly, but if you want to call back during the week, on the weekday afternoons, that's when he's on live. Oh, this isn't Joe now? He goes, you sound like him. I said, what radio show are you calling that the host is
I got to tell you a funny thing that happened. When I was driving over here.
In some Wisconsin town.
You would know.
When I was driving here, I get a phone call, right? And it's this black gentleman, and he says, you have concealed carry? Yeah. And he said, well, I'm looking at 3 places. Tell me about it. And we talked for about half an hour while I'm driving. And then I said, but look, he was asking real specific questions. I said, look, let me just say one thing to be fair. The odds that you're ever going to pull a gun out and actually have to use it are almost infinitesimal. And he goes, I live in southeast Chicago. And then I said, and there's that.
Now, on a weekly basis, that might still be true.
Okay, so we'll go right to you.
So I'll probably cover a lot of what you're gonna say.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Let me get a website from them, and then we'll go to you.
What is the Zombie Shoot?
I'm gonna say it again.
I don't even know what that is.
That's fine.
Okay.
Why not?
I don't even know what the Zombie Shoot website is.
Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
Okay, so I desperately want to go to Zombie Shoot. What do I have to do?
All you have to do is go to the Aurora Sportsman's Club website. You can go to the Eventbrite section there, and you can buy your tickets there, or you can go to the Zombie Shoot on Facebook, and right then and there you can click on events and you can sign up. And one of the things we've been doing, there's one guy that's been a good sport in all this, Mark Smolinski. you might see his photo on our Facebook page with a whole bunch of really cute sayings like, got zombies because I'm all out of bubble gum.
Well, and there's that too. The other thing is they're taking pre-orders for T-shirts for Zombie Shoot, so you want to sign up and get those.
Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
You have 3 opportunities to meet On Target Radio in September. Get your tickets for the annual Zombie Shoot at the Aurora Sportsmen's Club. The Zombie Shoot is Saturday, September 10th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. For your admission of $80, you can test your skills at IDPA, Practical Rifle, Precision Practical Rifle, 2-gun, and Tactical 3-gun nation-style stages. ASC brings all of this together in one event in the name of protecting the world from the undead. The Zombie Shoot is held at the Aurora Sportsmen's Club in Waterman, Illinois. Get your tickets online at thezombie-shoot.aurorasc.org/home/register or just use the link on our Facebook page. Join On Target Radio at the fundraiser for the ISRA, hosted by Constitutional Rights, on Thursday, September 15th at Semino's Pizza in Joliet from 7 to 10 p.m. For a donation of $35, you get pasta, beer, soft drinks, and a gun auction, all to benefit the Illinois State Rifle Association. For more information, visit the link on our Facebook page. Meet On Target Radio at the Friends of NRA banquet on Saturday, September 17th at Gaslight Manor in Aurora. For tickets, go to friendsofnra.org and click on events or use the link on our Facebook page. The following Safer USA classes are at our facility in Waterman, Saturday and Sunday, September 3rd and 4th, and September 24th and 25th. Illinois Concealed Carry 1. This 16-hour class will be taught by David and Gretchen and meets the training requirements for Illinois Concealed Carry as well as Florida, Arizona, and Utah. Saturday, September 3rd. Introduction to Shotgun Shooting, taught by Pat and Nancy Donaldson. And I'm going to have an exciting announcement of a class that I'll start talking about next week. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on register.
Thank you. So, I think it's been good. We've gotten the word out, and hopefully we'll have a big turnout, and I hope it doesn't rain.
One thing we can't control, but there's plenty of undead, so
indeed,
bring your ammo, bring your guns, and come on out to the Zombie Shoot.
And one of the things that is really nice that we did this year is you've invested a lot of money in steel, which then can be used for other things throughout the year. So this is really going to be very productive in terms of what the club can do, too.
We've got some new target sets that we're working on. We might have a drawing to see who gets to name the new zombie targets. I'm kind of leaning towards
cool.
Eddie.
Eddie.
You know, they're on our Facebook page. But, yeah, you know, the club's continuously making investments.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank Eric Callis and Todd Vandermyde for coming in tonight. And we'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to On Target Radio. Be sure to tune in next week when we'll be covering more red meat issues that affect your life.
We'd also like to thank George Hoffman on the board, Jim Ekstrand, our video producer, and our sponsors, the Will County Grassroots Division of the ISRA, Schrank Smoke and Gun, the Illinois State Rifle Association, the Aurora Sportsmen's Club, and Safer USA.
Did it again, Fritz. Pulled another one out.
We did.
We did indeed.
It's easier with guests.
It is, yeah.
We let them talk.
Now if we could just find somebody to pay for the show.
Yes.
And as always, speaking of paying for the show, thank you, Michael, for making it all happen.